Hello friends, today's topic is gonna be the distinction between change in quantity demanded and change in demand, or the distinction between movement along the demand curve and shift of demand curve, or the distinction between expansion in demand and increase in demand, or the distinction between contraction in demand and decrease in demand. Okay friends, so let's start the distinction between change in quantity demanded and change in demand. Okay, let's start with change in quantity demanded or movement along the demand curve. Okay, now when demand of a commodity changes due to change in its price, other things being equal, that is other factors remaining constant, it is known as change in quantity demanded. Okay friends, this is further divided into two. Number one, expansion in demand. Number two, contraction in demand. Okay friends, now what is expansion in demand? In case of expansion of demand, means it is also known as extension of demand, means demand is increasing. Okay, demand is increasing due to what? Due to fall in price. So in this particular case, expansion in demand, it is based on law of demand. Okay, number two, the quantity demanded of a commodity rises. Quantity demanded of the commodity rises due to fall in price. Other factors remaining constant or being equal. So friends, just check it across in this above diagram. In the x-axis we are showing quantity demanded, and in the y-axis we are showing price, right? Now friends, suppose initially the price was OP1, then quantity demanded was OQ1, right? Now due to fall in price from OP1 to OP2, the quantity demanded increases from OQ1 to OQ2, right? I repeat, the quantity demanded need to be expanded, need to be increased. So to increase the quantity demanded, there is a fall in price. So the price has been reduces from OP1 to OP2 and quantity demanded increases from OQ1 to OQ2, right? Initially we were point A and now we are at point B. So there is a movement from point A to point B. So movement from an upper point A to a lower point B. This is also known as downward movement along the demand curve. So expansion in demand means quantity demanded increases due to fall in price. Other factors remaining constant, we are just moving from an upper point to a lower point. This is also known as downward movement along the demand curve. Okay friends, so it is done. Number two, contraction in demand. Okay, now in case of contraction in demand, this is also based on law of demand, number one. Number two, the quantity demanded of a commodity falls due to rise in price. I repeat, the quantity demanded reduces, falls due to rise in price, keeping other factors constant. Okay, now friends, check it across in this above diagram. In the x-axis we are showing quantity demanded, in the y-axis we are showing price. Initially the price was OP1 and quantity demanded was OQ1. Okay, now there is a contraction in demand, that is there is a fall in quantity demanded. So to reduce the quantity demanded, the price to be increased, right? So the price has been increased from OP1 to OP2 and quantity demanded reduces or falls from OQ1 to OQ2. Okay friends? Now when the price was OP1 and quantity demanded was OQ1, we were at point A, right? As the price increases from OP1 to OP2 and quantity demanded reduces from OQ1 to OQ2, we are at point B. So friends, along the same demand curve, we are just moving from point A to point B. That is, we are just moving from lower point to an upper point. Okay, so there is a movement from lower point to an upper point. This is also known as upward movement along the demand curve. So friends, in this particular two cases, that is expansion in demand and contraction in demand, that is change in quantity demanded means in these are the cases where we are following the law of demand, number one. Number two, quantity demanded changes due to change in price. Number three, other factors remaining constant. Number four, we are just moving from one point to another point, one point to another point along the same demand curve. In this particular case, we are just moving from an upper point to lower point because the quantity demanded expanded, quantity demanded increased due to fall in price. Other factors remaining constant, and in this particular case we are moving from a lower point to upper point because the price has been increased and quantity demanded reduces. So quantity demanded reduces due to increase in price, other factors remaining constant. There is an upward movement along the same demand curve DD. So friends, this is done. So we will start this side, that is shift of demand or change in demand. Okay friends, this is also further divided into two. Number one, increase in demand. Number two, decrease in demand. Okay friends, now increase in demand. Okay, now this is based on factor other than price. Okay, in this particular case, demand of a commodity rises due to changing other factors than its price. Okay friends, just take it across. In the above diagram, in the x-axis we are showing quantity demanded and in the y-axis we are showing price. Okay, now when the price was OP, the quantity demanded was OQ. At that particular time, we are having DD demand curve. Okay, now the quantity demanded increases from OQ to OQ1 due to other factors changes, and we are having a new demand curve D1 D1. Friends, just take it across. In this particular case, the price of the commodity is not changing. The quantity demanded changes due to changing other factors. So friends, we are just shifting the demand curve from this side to this side. So there is an upward shift of demand curve. So demand curve DD has been shifted from left to right. So there is an upward shift of demand curve or rightward shift of demand curve DD to D1 D1. So friends, there is an upward shift of demand curve DD to D1 D1. So in increase in demand, this is based on factor other than price. In this particular case, the demand of the commodity increases due to change in other factors but not due to change in price. The price is fixed. The quantity demanded increases due to change in other factors. The demand curve, we are getting a new demand curve. There is an upward shift of demand curve. So D1 D1 is our new demand curve. Friends, very quickly, I'm just covering the causes of increase in demand. For normal goods, increase in income. For inferior goods, decrease in income. Increase in price of the substitute goods. Decrease in price of the complementary goods. Increase in population size. Expectations of price rise in future. These are the causes. So friends, now number 2, that is decrease in demand. Okay friends, now here also law of demand is not applicable. In this particular case, this is based on factor other than price, like the previous one, that is increase in demand. Now in this particular case, demand of commodity falls due to change in other factors than its price. Here friends, check it across. Quantity demanded falls due to change in other factors, not due to change in price. Price is fixed. In the above diagram, in the x-axis we are showing quantity demanded or quantity, and in the y-axis we are showing price. Initially, suppose friends, the price was OP and quantity demanded or demand of the commodity was OQ. Okay, at that particular time DD was the demand curve. Now friends, the demand of the commodity reduces, demand of the commodity falls due to change in other factors, not due to change in price. In this particular case, as because quantity demanded reduces from OQ to OQ1, the demand curve shifted from DD to D1 D1. So there is a leftward shift of demand curve from DD to D1 D1. So friends, there is a leftward shift of demand curve DD to D1 D1. So friends, very quickly I'm just covering the causes. These are the opposite of the above causes. Number 1, for the normal goods, decrease in income. For inferior goods, increase in income. Decrease in price of the substitute goods. Increase in price of the complementary goods. Decrease in population size. Expectations of price fall in future. Friends, in case of increase in demand, more is demanded at the same price. There is an upward shift of the demand curve from DD to D1 D1. Here we are having a new demand curve D1 D1, which is upward shift of the demand curve. In case of decrease in demand, less is demanded at the same price. There is a leftward shift of the demand curve DD to D1 D1. So there is a leftward shift of the demand curve. Change in quantity demanded is known as movement along the demand curve. Change in demand is known as shift of demand curve. This is further divided into expansion in demand and contraction in demand. This is further divided into increase in demand and decrease in demand. In this particular case, law of demand is applicable. In this particular case, law of demand is not applicable. Here, the quantity demanded changes due to change in price. Here, the quantity demanded changes due to change in other factors, not because of price. Here, the price changes and this side price remaining constant. Here, the other fact remaining constant. Here, the price remaining constant. So friends, see you in the next video. Bye bye. All the best.